Today we're going to be talking about a piece of gear that's really exciting to me, not only because I think it's a really cool piece of music equipment, but also because it's actually one of the first things that anyone has ever sent to me to make a video about. This was sent to me by a viewer named John Bowen. John, thank you so much for sending this. The device I am talking about is this, the Yamaha RX17. Now before we get any further, like I mentioned, it was sent to me by a viewer, John Bowen. I've put a link to John's YouTube channel in the description in this direction. So go check him out. If you've never heard of the Yamaha RX17 before, you're not alone. I hadn't really heard of it until I was told that someone was going to send me one. I think drum machines that really stick in our mind, like Roland's TR-808 and TR-909, kind of dominate the part of our brain that's devoted to vintage drum machines, which for normal people probably isn't like a major part of the brain anyway. The RX-17 though, I think is special. This is kind of like a semi-lo-fi 80s in a box. Kind of literally, it came out in 1987, but also just the cheesiness of the drum samples, all of that, but just with a little bit of crunch. And with that, I think we're ready to hear how it sounds. So I'm gonna relocate the camera so we're looking down onto it, and yeah, let's make some beats. So here's the RX-17. Now my first impression when I looked at it is I actually love how it looks, but aesthetics usually aren't a reason to be interested in an instrument as much as the instrument itself. So let's talk about it. Now, I've just turned it on. You can see it's got this little two-line display here. It says select PTN, which is pattern 00W. That means that pattern 00 has something written to it. And then it says, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down here. These are the different steps to creating a pattern. So if I were to hit these arrows, I can go through. It says reel right. Well, it's a question mark. Reel right, step right, clear pattern, clear all patterns, and then copy and remaining. While we're like this, before we've even started writing a pattern, if I wanted to, I could do some like finger drumming style playing and give it a little. You might notice that on each button, there's two sounds listed. So for instance, this one says BD, bass drum, and TMBRN, tambourine. So what I can do here is I can choose one of those sounds to play. So if I hit the instrument change button, it'll say upper or lower. Now when it's like that, it's changing everything. So instead, I'll hit the instrument I want to change. Let's say instead of that bass drum, I want a tambourine. Boom, I hit it. It says BD selected. If I hit it again, it'll say tambourine selected. Then I hit instrument change again. And now if I play this, great. I kind of want my bass drum back though. So those are the basics. We're going to go through actually making a pattern now. And then after that, we'll try bringing some other instruments in and see what we can get. So to make a pattern, we're on this screen. It says select pattern. Now I already have a pattern written here. And maybe I hate it, maybe I don't, but we're going to delete it. So I'm going to use these arrows. I'm going to go over to 4, where it says clear pattern. Yes. It says sure. Yes. Complete. All right. Pattern 0. Totally blank. So we'll hit on 2, where it says reel right. I'll hit yes. This is real-time writing, playing it in to sequence it. You can do a step sequencing style. I don't enjoy doing that with this, personally. So I hit yes. So it's going to say now, length 16 out of 16. That's how many 16th notes are there going to be. So right now it's going to be 1 measure. I'm going to hit yes until it gets up to 32. We'll have a 2-measure pattern. After that, I'm going to mouse over or arrow key over. And here it says quantize, 1/16. So this is the resolution of note that it's going to quantize to. So it can quantize to 1/16. I could have it quantize to 8th notes. So everything that's not a perfect 8th note is going to get shunted onto the nearest 8th note. I could instead have it on 32nd notes. Then 12th, 24th, and 48th, those are going to be triplet subdivisions. But we're going to keep it on 16th for now. So if I hit start, you're going to hear a metronome. And if I move this little tempo slider, you can hear metronome. Ooh, it's getting fast. Or it's getting slow. We're going to slow jam the metronome. I'm going to put it kind of in the middle, and we'll work with it like that. So you can hear it going. There's one hit that's a little bit more accented, and that's the first beat of our pattern. Right there. And so I'm going to listen for that, and I'll start playing in, just going to make something up. So there we go. We've got that kind of generic sounding kick, snare, and hi-hat pattern. Next, I'm going to add some cowbell, insert more cowbell, SNL sketch reference. We're going to have it play. And now you can hear I've got that cowbell in there. So let's say now I wanted to add some more instruments. Like we were doing before, I can just have it play and then play those instruments in. Bam, got more instruments in. So again, if I hit start, we've got our pattern going. And I'm going to wait until the first beat and add the crash next time it goes through. And you can hear when I did that, I was a little bit off. So we're going to stop. And we're going to go back by hitting stop continue to step right. If I hit yes, it says here HH clause, but hi-hat closed. I can hit one of these instrument pads to go to the step sequence for that pad. So here's the crash. I didn't want it there. So I'm going to use the +1 yes button to highlight it. After I do that, I'm going to hit beat clear and press the beat I want to clear, crash. Now it's gone. And if I go back to that first beat, I can hit crash and it'll add it. And so now if I go back by hitting stop continue, you can hear I've got that crash right on the first beat. So this is fun how it's coming along, but I kind of want to add a little bit more. Maybe get a little wild with it. So we're going to go back into the real-time right, and we're going to start adding some more things. Now, there's a lot of fun sounds on here, so we're going to add the toms, give it a really 80s sounding ending to the phrase, and I think after that, I'll add in some more instruments and see what we can make. So here it's going. And I'm going to wait until the end. And there we go. And as just a last little thing, I'm going to add some shaker. I know, crazy, right? And I think that I'm going to add the shaker on the downbeats where I don't have the hi-hat. All right, so we've got this pattern. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to add some instruments. My face is going to go away, so I hope you haven't gotten too attached. But I'm going to move the other camera over to the piano so that we'll be able to see exactly what's going on. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much for coming back to support the channel. And I hope you had fun. I hope you maybe learned something. I want to clarify that I'm not telling you to go out and buy a Yamaha RX17. I think it's cool, but that doesn't mean that it's a perfect fit for everyone. And unless you're specifically in the market for a drum machine, usually a DAW or any kind of sample sequencer is going to be able to do everything the RX17 can do and more. That being said, it's a really fun little device. I've been having a great time with it, and so I just wanted to share it with everyone. Time for some jamming over that beat we made. Thanks again, and bye.